Right now at noon, the Democratic National Convention officially underway. We hear directly from delegates on day one in Chicago. Plus, remembering a legend in TV who pioneered daytime interview shows. A look at the life of Phil Donahue. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us on a Monday afternoon. I'm Josh Spreiter. Right now, the Democratic National Convention in Chicago is underway. And this morning, Wisconsin's delegates got a surprise from a member of the Democratic ticket. During the delegate breakfast, Kamala Harris's running mate Tim Walz rallying state Democrats. He talked about the increased enthusiasm among state volunteers since Harris became the nominee. Walz also drawing a contrast between the different parties and how they're playing to people's emotions. News 3 Now's Chris Stanford has been talking with Wisconsin delegates at the DNC today. He's live in Chicago now for us this afternoon. Chris, good afternoon to you.
Thanks, Josh. We're here at the hotel where those delegates are staying. It's also where they have a big breakfast every morning. Imagine a mini pep rally to get all the delegates amped up for the day. It's also an opportunity for us to talk to local delegates before they head to the convention floor who are representing Democratic voters at home. The 95 delegates include a lot of elected officials like Representative Mark Pocan, Governor Evers, and Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway. There's a lot of talk about what this renewed enthusiasm behind the Harris-Walz ticket means for down ticket races. That all started with the party transitioning away from President Biden. Here's what Governor Evers had to say about that.
I've never experienced anything like it, and I kind of had both ends of it because, as I said, I consider Joe Biden a friend. He did a lot of things for the state of Wisconsin, extraordinary things, but he knew that it wasn't going to work as a national issue.
The stakes are so critical in this election, from the presidential race with Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket to Senator Baldwin's race to now the chance to potentially flip the state assembly with fair maps in Wisconsin.
After talking with several of those delegates this morning, I can sum up the energy as enthusiastic and optimistic, not just for the presidential ticket, but again, the potential impact down ballot on local elections. Well, from here at the hotel, those delegates will all get on some coach buses and then head to the United Center and the convention floor. Josh, expect today's focus to be on President Biden and his lifetime of public service.
Chris Stanford live in Chicago this afternoon. Chris, thank you. Security is tight in Chicago as law enforcement prepares for large protests opposing the war in Gaza. Protest organizers say they're planning on a total turnout of around 20,000 people from across the country.
Marching on the DNC to demand an end to all U.S. aid to Israel.
In addition to protests outside, a pro-Palestinian group that calls itself Delegates Against Genocide will protest inside the DNC this week. Well, we are cooling things down for the work week ahead of a weekend warm-up. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka is here with your certified most accurate forecast. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, actually going to be kind of cool over the next couple of mornings. They're going to feel a little bit like autumn, and afternoon highs in the 70s and low to mid-70s at that. Really nice afternoon, though. We just had a few cumulus clouds pop up. Really nothing here at the studio right now, but looking at quite a bit of sunshine today. Should be a very pleasant afternoon, just running a couple degrees cooler than where we should be for this time of the year. You can see the clear skies from our Edgewater Sky Cam right now, overlooking the capital city. And for a change, looks like it's going to be pretty quiet pretty much all week long, even into the upcoming weekend. But below average temperatures, as mentioned, going to feel a little bit like autumn. Probably need a jacket waking up in the mornings the next couple of mornings with temperatures starting out in the 50s. And it will be warming up, it looks like, for the upcoming weekend, so we can count on that. Right now, we're sitting at 73 in Madison, 74 currently in Middleton, so a pleasant noon hour for us. Winds are still out of the north. That's what's bringing in some of that cool Canadian air. We'll talk about the cool mornings the next couple of days, but also that warm up for the weekend coming up.
All right, Kelly, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. This afternoon, we remember Phil Donahue, who died. Dubbed the king of daytime talk, Donahue was the first to incorporate audience participation in a talk show. The decision set the Phil Donahue Show apart from others 1960 interview shows and influenced a format that made household names of Oprah Winfrey, Montel Williams, Ellen DeGeneres, and many others. Later renamed Donahue, it had a 26-year national run and won 20 Emmys. Phil Donahue was 88 years old. Still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have a question or a concern about your plant or garden, now is the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in this broadcast with the answers. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. Up next, why it's a new day in the world of real estate. Plus, egg prices on the rise once again. What you can expect to pay in the grocery store.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Update your floors with no interest for 12 months with Empire today. Getting new floors for your whole house has never been easier. That's no interest for 12 months on carpet, hardwood, tile, vinyl, and laminate, as many rooms as you want. With no interest for 12 months, you can enjoy the floors of your dreams today. Schedule your free in-home estimate at EmpireToday.com and enjoy no interest for 12 months.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. At Precision, we want to be your trusted advisor. Anybody that knows me here knows that I'm always focused on the customer first. I want to make sure that we don't have to worry about this door, next year, the year after that. Here at Precision, we're here for you.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
These were my great-grandpappy's glasses. And now they're yours, son.
Why can't I just get my own?
No, these have at least a few hundred years left in them.
I think the kid needs his own. Get 2 pairs of glasses and a free eye exam for $79, all same day.
Yeah, I want my own.
Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
TDS Fiber Internet makes our home smarter. Working, playing, living, learning. It's all better with TDS Fiber Internet because it's faster, more reliable. It's award-winning internet served up by friendly local folks. It's what keeps us connected. And isn't that what it's all about? Say hello to internet that hits different. Say hello to TDS.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act
that takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
It's a new day in the world of real estate, and it could have a huge impact for home buyers and realtors. Home sellers no longer have to offer compensation to buyers' agents. Typically, the seller has paid the commission that is usually split between the listing and buyer's agents. Now, shoppers could have to cover that cost. It's all part of a settlement from a massive antitrust lawsuit that alleged home sellers were forced to pay artificially inflated commissions to agents. A commonly used ingredient in U.S. sunscreens can turn clothing orange. Avobenzone, a product found in over 650 sunscreen products from 130 different brands. A stain removal expert told CBS Money Watch that the stains caused by this chemical can be removed with a 2-step process, but you can eliminate the risk by using sunscreens that are mineral-based. The price of eggs at the grocery store is soaring, according to the Consumer Price Index, by nearly 20% in July. The culprit is believed to be the ongoing bird flu outbreak, which has limited the supply of eggs. July marked the 3rd month egg prices rose on an annual basis. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
And at the noon hour, here's your stock report. Stocks are up for the 8th straight day. The Dow up 224 points, NASDAQ up 102, and the S&P 500 up 31. Pam is watching today's egg prices straight ahead. Plus, Kelly is tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, Susan and Brady are live at the DNC in Chicago with the latest CBS presidential poll and the CBS News Director of Elections and Polling.
Get an 11% rebate on your painting project at Menards. Dutch Boy DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one with Stay Clean technology, so your home stays beautiful longer. A gallon starts at $19.48 after rebate. Give your space the Platinum treatment with Platinum Plus interior paint. Its stain shield technology protects your spaces with a performance you'd expect from a luxury paint at a price you wouldn't. Get a gallon starting at $36.48 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Your best night's sleep starts on a new Tempur-Pedic from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedics are designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Right now, save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets. Tempur-Pedic Queen Hybrid mattresses start at only $48 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing. Sleep better tonight on a new Tempur-Pedic. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Do you suffer with pain, numbness, and tingling in the hands or feet, commonly diagnosed as peripheral neuropathy? Are you taking drugs such as Lyrica or gabapentin that have serious side effects and often do not relieve your symptoms? Your doctor has told you you may just have to live with the pain. Peripheral neuropathy is a result of damage to the nerves, often causing burning, weakness, pain, numbness, tingling, and the most debilitating balance problems. Our facility uses multiple therapeutic methods to help give you relief from neuropathy symptoms with no injections and no drugs. You may start seeing relief after only a few sessions. To determine if your neuropathy symptoms can be relieved, we will do a consultation to evaluate the extent of your condition. Call us today to schedule your neuropathy consultation to find out if you're a candidate for our therapy. Call today.
Tomorrow on News 3 Now This Morning, our live coverage continues of the DNC from Chicago. We'll set the stage for day 2 of the convention. We'll get you ready. Join us tomorrow from 4:30 to 7 on News 3 Now This Morning.
Mindy Kaling will make you laugh.
Let's go pitch it. Jennifer Hudson, she's at a drive-thru.
Whopper! You won't cheat! Plus, the incredible Los Angeles Sparks.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back on a Monday afternoon. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hello there. Yeah, I'm paying attention to what they're talking about for those overnight lows. That makes me nervous. Makes a lot of farmers nervous when you get temperatures that are into the 40s overnight, but we'll wait and see. It's going to feel like that when I get up to Alaska later this week with my farm tour, so better be ready. Speaking of those crops and the weather that we've got coming up, today is the beginning of the 31st annual Pro Farmer Crop Tour. This is a group of crop consultants, trained experts that are going to be fanning out across both the Eastern Corn Belt and the Western Corn Belt for the next 5 days. They're taking a look at 70% of the nation's corn and soybean crops, trying to get an idea of just exactly what we're going to see when it comes to the harvest. They'll gather together on Friday in Rochester, Minnesota, and release their information tidbits. So the markets are paying attention to that. Commodity brokers paying attention to that. And so am I. Hey, I want you to pay attention to an event that's coming up on Friday, September 6th. It is a fundraiser for the Wisconsin FFA Foundation, and it happens to be in the form of a Packer Party Watch. We're going to be gathering together at my house up in Green Bay, Pambo, for the opportunity to just kind of mix and mingle. It's all food and drinks as well as musical entertainment. And then we'll watch the Packers play in Brazil against the Eagles. Tickets are $100 per person. And remember, it is a fundraising event for the FFA Foundation. You can find tickets. There's a limited number available online at wiffafoundation.org under their events tab. Love to have you come up and enjoy Pambo on a Friday night with me and the backyard. All right, dairy markets today. We were worried about what was going to happen to our cheese trade. We need to keep that number above $2 to continue a bullish streak that a lot of our Wisconsin dairy farmers want to see. No change today on barrel or block cheese, but we're above the $2 mark. Double A butter today, up another half a cent, $3.18.5 per pound. So, Josh, it's not just eggs that are going to start costing you more at the grocery store these days.
Yeah, the butter too, but I'm thinking about those temperatures. I'm thinking about Pambo season. The seasons are changing, Pam. It's that time of the year already.
I know it. And that's why if I have to break out a jacket tomorrow morning, I'll keep it out because I'll need it up in Alaska for sure later this week.
Oh, yes, you will. All right, Pam, good to see you.
See you later.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast now. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka is out on the weather patio with some more fall-like temperatures on the way, Kelly.
Yeah, might feel like football weather the next couple of nights. Friday night football. Of course, the Badgers are in town less than 2 weeks from last Friday. So, yeah, it's going to be feeling like that the next couple of mornings, especially. We've got high pressure sprawled out basically from Canada all the way throughout the Great Lakes, and that means quiet weather, but with this northerly flow that we've had, keeping these temperatures well below average. Just a few cumulus clouds expected today, but quiet for most of the week. Unusual because we've had so much rain this year, but looks like it will be quiet for the next 10 days, it looks like generally, and below average temperatures the next few days, but we will get back into that heat. It looks like just in time for the upcoming weekend with temperatures returning back to the 80s. So temperatures today, a little bit below our average, which is typically about 80. We'll be in the upper 70s, but a really pleasant day. We have a northerly wind bringing in some of that cool Canadian air, and we'll back off quickly through the 60s tonight. So there is our average. Typically, we should still be at 80 degrees. And our overnight low tonight, though, look at that, 53. And I wouldn't doubt some of these outlying areas, especially to the north and some of those valley spots, if they don't see some 40s waking up tomorrow morning. Why? Well, we've got this trough low pressure digging in out of Canada. That's bringing in some cool air from the north. We've been under this northwest flow last several days, basically throughout the weekend, and that continues right into the first half of this week. It looks like we'll start to see that cooler air start to slide on to the east. We'll get some of this warmer weather. It's been real hot across the southern plains with triple digits. We won't see that, but I think as we go into the upcoming weekend, we will likely hit the 80s, mid to upper 80s at that. So definitely going to be warming up by then. Right now, very comfortable. Our future track looking at mid to upper 70s throughout the afternoon hours. So a very pleasant afternoon to be outside. And you won't need the AC the next couple of days as temperatures back off quickly through the 60s going through this evening. Right now we're sitting at 73 only in Madison, 75 in Janesville, 73 currently in the Dells, 71 right now in Watertown, and across Dane County everybody's sitting in the low to mid 70s. So very pleasant noon hour, and we'll rise a few more degrees before we wrap things up later today. 77 expected. We're down to 53 tonight, 74 tomorrow, waking up to 51 Wednesday morning. Then we start to see that warm up gradually throughout the week into the weekend, mid to upper 80s. But one thing that's unusual, we don't have any rain on that graphic. Maybe an isolated shower here and there, but in general, it looks like a pretty dry extended forecast going through right through next Wednesday.
All right, Kelly. Yeah, a little bit of a fall-like feel out there. 70s aren't bad though with that sunshine. Yeah, we're getting a break from the heat. It'll be back with us this weekend, though. All right, thank you. Today, Howard's in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with a pasta dish that he says is amazing.
If you think it takes too long to make a to-die-for from-scratch dinner that your family will love, it's time to think again. That's right. You probably have the ingredients right in your pantry. So let's get started. We begin by sautéing some chopped garlic and onion in a good amount of olive oil until they're tender. To that, we add a can of crushed tomatoes, some black olives that we've cut in half, and a little salt and pepper. While this simmers for a bit, we drain some pasta that will serve it over. Now we add chicken broth and a little sugar. You see, the sugar reduces the acidity in the tomatoes. Come dinner time, all that's left to do is serve our homemade sauce over a piping hot pasta and top it with fresh basil. Maybe team that with a salad and a loaf of crusty bread for a meal that's restaurant worthy. To get the recipe for what we call pasta rustica, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found one of Kelly's favorite ways for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Yummy?
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and gardening questions. Remember, you can email those questions to tips@channel3000.com right now, and we'll get the answers when News 3 Now at noon continues.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Discover more ways to save on appliances at our Brothers Main bargain rooms. Get discounts on top brand closeouts, returns, and scratch and dents. Minor dings, major savings. Plus, you can take your purchase home today. Feel like family. Brothers Main.
Nobody wants to replace the roof. But these days, many roofs are only lasting 10 to 15 years, costing you tens of thousands of dollars. RoofMax makes your roof like new by strengthening and rejuvenating it. RoofMax treatments, started early enough, can extend the life of your roof by 15 years or more. And even if you think your roof is at the end of its life, 90% of the time, RoofMax can extend the life of your roof by 5 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. So give us a call and we'll give you a free assessment to see if your roof qualifies.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
We wanted to be able to enjoy all 4 seasons, and patio enclosures helped us make that dream come true.
The one and only patio enclosures.
Kamala Harris has spent decades fighting violent crime. As a border state prosecutor, she took on drug cartels and jailed gang members for smuggling weapons and drugs across the border. As vice president, she backed the toughest border control bill in decades. And as president, she will hire thousands more border agents and crack down on fentanyl and human trafficking. Fixing the border is tough. So is Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Welcome back at noon. Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and gardening questions. You can email them to tips@channel3000.com. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Nice tie.
Thank you. Got the maroon going today. Kyrion picked it for the morning show, so I had to match her today.
Okay.
What do we got here?
So it's a zinnia. And I love zinnias. They are great annuals because they will flower forever, and they also make really great cuts. So this one, not so much. This is a shorter variety, but a lot of the zins have a longer stem, and they make beautiful bouquets. And as long as you take off these spent flowers, you can see all these buds that are coming. They will flower until frost.
It'll keep going.
So if you don't have them in your garden this year, then definitely get some seeds for next year. There's some great mixes, and if you've got a sunny spot, you can sow a row, and then you can from, I would say, late July through the summer, you have bouquets all summer long, the rest of the summer.
That sounds really nice. All right, well, we got a lot of questions, but first we're going to start off with a question from our morning reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn. She left this plant, and the leaves are kind of wilting on it. Any idea what's going on there?
Well, they're not really wilting. They're more crisping at the ends, and sometimes that's a watering issue. Although I checked it, it does seem dry, so it definitely needs to be watered, and she should water it thoroughly till the water comes out of the bottom of the pot, not just a little bit of water with a cup. She should take it to a sink and water it in well and let it drain. Also, though, this is a spiderwort or Tradescantia, and they do need more light than it might be getting in the office, in an office setting.
And this is where she keeps it, so
right,
that's
so
possible.
maybe it just needs to spend some time in a window.
Okay.
And let it get a little bit more light, especially the ones that have this sort of pink edge. they would like more light to keep those edges that
there
bright
you go.
color. But
Michelle
I love
Renee,
the
if you're
font.
watching.
Reminds me of a dress I
that
had
super
when I
cute?
was like 8.
I love it.
It was brown and pink and cream stripes.
We have an in-person plant today, too, where you can actually see it.
That's super cool.
Let's get to the other questions. First up, Mary here. Mary says our hostas have developed a fungus that crisps up and browns the leaves. Anything we can do? So
I don't know of a hosta disease that's happening. Hostas are pretty impervious to diseases. They do have problems with some insect pests like slugs, and also rabbits love them. I would say, though, that they are super vigorous plants, and I would cut and remove any of the leaves that are damaged. Do a really good cleanup this fall, getting rid of, cutting them back to the ground and getting rid of all of that plant material. So that if it is a fungal disease, it doesn't hang around for next summer. I would also maybe take a couple of photos and email them to the plant desk @brucecompany.com, so we can get a better look at what's going on. And if I hear of any hosta fungal diseases, I'll let you all know.
Oh, there you go. All right, next question from Jeff. Jeff wants to know what the best top dress for lawn is and when is the best time.
So if you are top dressing like fertilizer, you can put down, still time to put down like a late summer fertilizer. You can also wait until fall and do a winterizer fertilizer. If you're talking about like composting, it's like top dressing, that kind of thing, then any kind of compost will work. You want something that is light enough to get down in between the blades of grass. You can help it move along by doing what they call aerating, where you take those little plugs, or you get those funny shoes with the spikes on and walk through, and then that compost gets into the soil. And you can do that anytime. Now that the heat is broken and we're getting, you can go ahead and do that.
All right, next question from Kurt in Janesville. Kurt wants to know, is it too soon to start planting tulip bulbs, and when is a good time?
Yeah, absolutely. Ground is still too warm. If you put tulip bulbs in now, then it's likely that they will start to sprout with the warm weather, and what you really want them to do is just develop roots in the fall. So best time to do it is in October, kind of around the time of the first sort of soft frost. As the ground starts to cool, the new bulbs will root in and not send out those shoots and compromise next year's flowers.
All right, all the good questions today.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into those fall
We are
questions.
getting into those fall questions. They take a little longer to answer sometimes.
Yes, they do. All right, Lisa, we always appreciate your advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's get to Kelly Slifka now with a final look at your first warn weather.
Yeah, going to feel like fall, especially the morning temperatures dropping down into the 50s the next couple of mornings. So kind of cool the next couple of days as far as those morning lows are concerned. But right now, 73 in Madison, 75 in Janesville, the Dells at 74 across Dane County. Everybody in the low to mid 70s, so really pleasant noon hour. 72 right now in Wanakee, and also Sun Prairie, Cottage Grove, and Stoughton both at 72 as well. Our first warm forecast down to 53 tonight, so you may need that jacket waking up in the morning. Same goes for Wednesday morning and also Thursday morning with low to mid 50s expected, but really pleasant afternoons with partly sunny skies, and you don't notice any rain drops in that 10-day forecast. Just slim chance of a shower maybe Wednesday, then again on Sunday. Now, mid to upper 70s for the end of the week, but look at the heat does return, so don't let it fool you. We are going to get back into that heat. Mid to upper 80s, it's been in the triple digits across the plains. We won't quite get there, but definitely going to feel like summer this weekend into next weekend. Still fairly dry weather into next week with low to mid 80s throughout much of the early part of next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. And thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Susan and Brady are live from Chicago for the DNC, starting on Live at 4.